Hi, it's Mrs. Cheney, your art teacher, here today to talk to you about the painting by Leonardo da Vinci called The Last Supper. Before we get started, do me a favor and click subscribe down at the bottom of your screen so that you can get more of these videos. Now, before we get started, here's my little disclaimer. I'm not here to talk to you about religion. I'm not here to talk to you about Jesus or anything like that. Talk to you about what it means or anything. We're here to talk about a painting called The Last Supper. It was a tempera painting done by Leonardo da Vinci at the age of 33. It was on a stone wall on a monastery dining room. Now, this dining room wall, it's like the concrete of your basement. It was cold and damp. So the paint didn't last very long on this cold, damp wall. It was painted in the Santa Maria delle Grazie in Milan. The opposite wall in this dining room held a crucifixion. And the idea was that in this dining hall, the monks in the monastery could go down and have dinner and have something pretty to look at. And of course, what they believed in, Jesus and his Last Supper. This was Christ, his 12 apostles in 4 groups of 3, which echoes the 3 windows in the back. Okay? Leonardo mixed pitch and mastic to cover the walls of the Santa Maria delle Grazie, the site of the Last Supper. The walls had been built with rubble and were full of acids and salts that leached from the old bricks and the limestone. So he tried to put like a barrier on the wall before he painted. The building was in low ground, and after heavy rains, sometimes water collected on the floor. Moisture and leaching acids quickly damaged the tempera painting, so that 50 years after its creation, it was seen as nothing more of a muddle of blots. This is a cross-section that I found identifying all 12 apostles. And if you want to get into the Bible and do your research on these people, you can. And yes, there's controversy over who some of these people are, especially John in particular, but that's something I really don't want to talk about, at least not here, okay? I talked to you about you in person, but not here. In 1943, okay, the Maria delle Grazie was used by the military as a headquarters. It was a place where soldiers used it as like barracks, and equipment was put into it. So they cut a big door opening in the wall in order to get a tank inside. Now, when I look at this and I look at the size of this doorway and the size of this painting, and I think, we're not seeing all of this. We're not seeing the bottom of this photograph. But for a tank to get through that doorway, a tank is like the size of a car. So that painting was huge. When they made the door, they cut into the painting and they damaged it. Okay? Stories also say that it survived a bombing. That, during the war, the place was bombed and it blew up. Yet that wall still stood. I think that's kind of cool. Like somebody was protecting it. Somebody from up above. Okay? To talk about this a little bit further in class, and I forgot to mention it, we talked about the 3 windows in the background, okay, back here. On the sides, these aren't windows or doorways for that matter. They're tapestries that were hung on the wall to keep the room warm, which was traditional during that time, or, was a popular thing to do. So here's the painting pre-restoration, and after the bomb went off and it was cleaned up a little bit, down at the bottom, here it is restored. Art historians went in there and tried to clean up the painting so that we can enjoy it today. Here is a computer-generated, color-enhanced version of the painting. Pretty cool stuff here. See you next time. Bye.